Okay, first meal of the day, probably the only meal of the day. Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna cook anymore today after this. Scott's making the ribeye on the grill. And we are going to make a Gorgonzola sauce. It's real simple and real tasty, and you can add it to literally any beef steakness, give it another flavor. It makes it good. Here we go. Okay, we got Gorgonzola. We got butter, heavy cream. We got our stick blender mixer thingy, and then we got our pot. That is all you need to make this. First, we'll start off by adding some heavy cream. I do about half to 1 cup depending on how much I'm making. Then we'll go ahead and add some pads of butter. I added about 3 to 4. Then you're gonna mix till your hand falls off for 5 to 10 minutes depending on the temperature and your stove. Once it's nice and warm, add half the Gorgonzola. I taste test it as I go to see how strong the flavor is, so add half, taste it. If it's not strong enough, then add some more and just go from there. I use a stick blender because it seems to chop everything up better, but you absolutely can use a whisk. You probably just gonna have to whisk a lot more. If I was thinking ahead, I would have used a smaller pot because, well, I'm super messy when I cook. And alas, you're going to continue to stir, turn the heat off, and then just stir to cool it down. It will thicken as time goes by. However, if you're impatient like I am, I just went ahead and dumped the very liquidy sauce on my plate. Still delicious, but if you're a texture person, then just let it cool 5 to 10 minutes and it'll be about 4 or 5 times as thick as it is here. Steak's done. It is delicious. The sauce turned out great. I used some older cream. Shouldn't have done that. It made it a little too runny. So make sure that you're using fully heavy cream, and it thickens up as it cools down too, by the way. I was just too impatient to let it. I made the ultimate selfie stick with an entire tripod. Got Piranha 1 and Piranha 2. Then we have the Patient Piranha.
That's a great weight. Just wrapping.